He's got to block Hysterics, right? Or he loses. So Niv is off the field, which is great news for us. Really? Oh, 1 life left. Math, lol. We do that damage, we get the Gem Razor in, and let's go crazy about it, right? Onto the Hysterics again, just flooding the field underneath here. We're gonna kill the Signet. And Nissa, stop it!
I will protect the
Triggers are... Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today is something very special for you that I'm not sure has really been done a whole bunch. So we have companions, we can use those. Now we have Brawl commanders, we can use those. Let's form a deck with the both of them and we'll have access to 2 extra cards all the time, which is pretty incredible. So let's look at our mystery commander and companion up here at the top left of the screen. Our commander is Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, a 6/6, and whenever it enters the battlefield, we have to sacrifice it unless it's escaped. The escape cost is 4, 2 mountains, 2 islands, plus exiling 5 other cards from your graveyard. However, when Uro does enter the battlefield or attacks, you gain 3 life plus drawing a card, and you get to play a land from your hand to the battlefield. So it does everything. It mitigates the damage by gaining life. It has card advantage by the cantrip of replacing itself, and then it is also a ramp engine because it'll allow you to play multiple lands per turn. So Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, is absolutely deadly. Because it's our commander, we can play it for 3, send it back to the command zone, play it for 5, send it to the graveyard, and then replay it for 4 after that. So it gets a lot of utility in opening matches with this deck, which sets it up for a very easily paced time against most of our opponents who aren't ramping. So that's our commander. Our companion is Keruga, the Macrosage. This is a 5/4. We have to have all of our permanent cards in our deck with mana cost 3 or higher, right? So when it enters the battlefield, we get to draw a card for each other permanent we control with converted mana cost 3 or higher. So we want to be stacking permanents with high converted mana cost. And then when it hits the field, we're going to get to really replenish our hand, which is quite nice. So we're ramping to infinity with Uro, and then we're drawing a ton of cards later on with Keruga, so we can really just get in on that mid-game and late-game play. So as always, we're taking a look at the deck list in its entirety, breaking down each individual card. What do they all do? What do they stand for? Then we're going to move into the deck tech, where we talk about the strategies and synergies incorporated within the deck. How do all of the individual cards work together to form a coherent working archetype? Then we're into some gameplay footage where we'll talk about how this deck operates against the rest of the Brawl meta, right? How do those cards come together to really interact with your opponent, talking about playlines and interactions, because it's not enough just to know how your deck operates. You have to know how it operates against the rest of the environment, which is really, really cool. Finally, we have my closing thoughts. We're talking about any changes we want to make to the deck, plans for upcoming content, etc., etc., etc. So if you find any value within the video, go ahead and give me a thumbs up and share my channel out to all of your Magic the Gathering Arena friends. Getting into it, we've got Cloudkin Seer. This is a 2/1 with flying. When it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Brazen Borrower has Petty Theft and instant attached to it for 2. Return target non-land permanent and opponent controls to its owner's hand. The Borrower has Flash and Flying. It's a 3/1 and can block only other creatures with flying. Mu Yangling Skydancer, a legendary planeswalker coming in with only 2 loyalty, which is kind of sad. However, she has a +2 ability, so she goes up quite quickly until your next turn. Up to 1 target creature gets -2, -0, and loses flying. -3, create a 4/4 blue elemental bird creature token with flying. And -8, you get an emblem with all islands you control have tap to draw a card. So that's actually kind of insane. Nadir Kraken, this is a 2/3, and whenever you draw a card, we may pay 1. If we choose to do so, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on the Kraken, and we create a 1/1 blue tentacle creature token. Narset, Parter of Veils, our second planeswalker of the deck, coming in with 5 loyalty, so a little bit friendlier. Each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn as a static ability. That's extremely powerful. -2, look at the top 4 cards of your library. You may reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put it into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. So this is a great way just to find those key cards that we need, such as our draw engine stuff. We're going to get into that a little bit later, right? So Sea Dasher Octopus, this is a 2/2 with Flash. The mutate cost is only 2, so it's a reduced mutate, which is nice. And whenever this creature deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. Cultivate for 3. Search your library for up to 2 basic land cards, reveal those cards, and put one onto the battlefield tapped and the other onto your hand, then shuffle your library. Glowstone Recluse. This is a 2/3 with Reach, mutate for 4, so an increased mutate cost here. Whenever this creature mutates, put 2 +1/+1 counters on it. Lorescale Coatl. This is a 2/2, and whenever we draw a card, put a +1/+1 counter on Lorescale Coatl. Primal Empathy, an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if you control a creature with the greatest power among creatures on the battlefield. Otherwise, put a +1/+1 counter on a target creature you control. Risen Reef, 1/1. Whenever it or another elemental enters the battlefield, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, place it to the battlefield. If it's a non-land, it goes into your hand. Trumpeting Gnar. This is a 3/3 mutate for 5, so a very increased mutate cost. However, whenever this creature mutates, create a 3/3 green beast creature token, so you can see just how powerful that ability is. Mechagodzilla, the weapon, aka Crystalline Giant, a 3/3, and at the beginning of combat on your turn, choose one kind of counter at random that it doesn't have from among flying, first strike, death touch, hexproof, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, vigilance, and +1/+1. Put a counter of the chosen type on it. On to our 3 drops, we have Incongruity, which also has Incubation attached to it, which is our only 1 drop, I guess. It's a sorcery speed. Look at the top 5 cards of your library. You may reveal a creature card from among them, put it into your hand, and then put the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. And then Incongruity is the 3 drop at instant speed, which is quite nice. Exile target creature. That creature's controller creates a 3/3 green frog lizard creature token. Angus Armored Killer, aka Gemraiser, a 4/4 with Reach and Trample. Mutate is only 3, so a reduced cost there. Whenever this creature mutates, destroy target artifact or enchantment an opponent controls. We know how powerful that is, right? Guardian Project, a staple in any green Brawl deck. An enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, if it doesn't have the same name as another creature under your control or another creature in your graveyard, you get to draw a card. Brawl decks are all singleton. They only have single copies of cards, so this is always going to be triggering. Migratory Greathorn is a 3/4 mutate for 3 reduced cost. Whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield, and then put it into the battlefield tapped, and then shuffle your library. Nyla Keen-Eyed, this is an indestructible legendary enchantment creature. As long as your devotion to green is less than 5, it's not a creature, only the enchantment. When it's an enchantment, you still get use of its abilities. She's a 5/6 when she does become a creature, and creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, which is the static ability of it. We can also pay 3, reveal the top card of your library. If it's a creature card, put it into your hand. Otherwise, you may put it into your graveyard. Garruk Unleashed, our 3rd planeswalker of the deck, coming in with 4 loyalty, +1, up to 1 target creature gets +3/+3 and gains trample until end of turn. -2, create a 3/3 green beast creature token. Then if an opponent controls more creatures than you, put a loyalty counter on it. So if he has more after the 3/3 is made, then it's only going to be a -1, which is pretty cool. -7, you get an emblem with at the beginning of your end step. You may search your library for a creature card, put it into the battlefield, and then shuffle your library. Do keep note that if you use a -2 and are going to get a +1, if he's only at 2, it'll go to 0 and die. It won't go to 1. So it goes -2 and then +1. Nightpack Ambusher, 4/4 flash. Other wolves and werewolves you control get +1/+1, so that's pretty powerful. And at the beginning of your end step, if you didn't cast a spell this turn, create a 2/2 green wolf creature token. Questing Beast, another 4/4, this time with Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste. Questing Beast can't be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less. Combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control can't be prevented. And whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to target player or planeswalker that player controls. Shifting Ceratops, 5/4, can't be countered. That's powerful. Protection from blue, sign me up. We can pay 1 to give it haste, trample, or reach until end of turn. We can do that multiple times to get multiple of those abilities. Parcel Beast, this is a 2/4, mutate for 2, so an incredibly reduced cost there, which is nice. We can pay 1 to tap it. Look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, you may put it into the battlefield. If you don't put it into the battlefield, put it into your hand, so it's similar to a growth spiral on a stick that's reusable. Tamiyo, Collector of Tales. What is this? Our 4th legendary planeswalker, coming in with 5 loyalty. Static abilities, spells, and abilities your opponents control can't cause you to discard or sacrifice permanents. +1. Choose a non-land card name, then reveal the top 4 cards of your library. Put all of the cards with the chosen name from among them into your hand. The rest go into the library. -3, return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Of course, we have one copy of Frilled Mystic, a 3/2 with flash, and when it enters the battlefield, we get to choose to counter target spell. On to our 5 drops, Dreamtail Huron. This is a 3/4 with flying, mutate for 4, so a little bit of a reduced cost there. Whenever this creature mutates, draw a card. Pouncing Shore Shark, one of my favorite creatures within the deck, a 4/3 with flash, reduced cost, so mutate is only 4, not 5. Whenever this creature mutates, you may return target creature an opponent controls to its owner's hand. Cavalier of Gales, this is a 5/5 with flying, and when it enters the battlefield, draw 3 cards, then put 2 cards from your hand onto your top of your library in any order. You kind of get to pick your draw. And then when it dies, shuffle it to its owner's library, and then we're going to get to scry 2. Auspicious Sterix. Now this card is a beast. A 6/6 mutate for 6, so it's a little bit of an increased mutate cost. Whenever this creature mutates, exile cards from the top of your library until you exile X permanents, where X is the number of times that this creature has mutated. Put those permanents into the battlefield. Biogenic Ooze, this is a 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, create another 2/2 Ooze creature token, and at the beginning of your end step, put a +1/+1 counter on each Ooze you control. We can pay 4 to create an additional 2/2 green Ooze. We've got Elder Gargaroth. Now this is a 6/6 with Vigilance, Reach, and Trample. When it attacks or blocks, we get to choose one, create a 3/3 token, gain 3 life, or draw a card. We have Nissa Who Shakes the World, our 6th Planeswalker, I believe, coming in with 5 loyalty. Static ability, whenever you tap a forest for mana, add an additional green mana source, +1, put 3 +1/+1 counters on up to 1 target non-creature land you control, untap it. It becomes a 0/0 elemental creature token with vigilance, haste, and that is still a land. -8, you get an emblem. With lands you control have indestructible, plus we get to search our library for any number of forest cards that we have, putting them into the battlefield tapped, and then we shuffle our library. We've got Cavalier of Thorns, a 5/6 with reach. When it enters the battlefield, reveal the top 5 cards of your library. You may put a land card from among them into the battlefield and the rest in your graveyard. When Cavalier of Thorns dies, you may exile it. If you do, put another target card from your graveyard on top of your library. We're almost there, you guys. Agent of Treachery for 7, a 2/3, and when it enters the battlefield, gain control target permanent. At the beginning of your end step, if you control 3 or more permanents you own, draw 3 cards. 3 or more permanents you don't own, draw 3 cards. So we're not going to even be worrying about that here today. We also have the Great Henge for 9. It costs X less to cast, where X is the greatest power among creatures you control. We can tap it to add 2 green mana source and gain 2 life. Whenever another non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on it and draw a card. We've got 11 islands, 10 forests, a breeding pool, a temple of mystery, and a command tower. We are not running Arcane Signet within the deck because it costs 2, so it violates our companion rule of Keruga. So you can see how many permanents we're stacking the field with. Keruga is just going to give us an absolutely amazing draw, restocking our hand. So when that mid-game hits, that late game hits, and we don't have a lot going on, boom, we replenish ourselves, and it's fuel to the fire. We're ready to go. So that was the deck list. Let's start talking about the deck tech, the strategies, the synergies that are involved within this Simic Flash companion-based Brawl deck. So, that was a lot to get out, right? We kind of shown a little bit of our hand of what we want to do through the mutate, right? We know that Auspicious Sterix is 100% broken, so there's not 4 copies of it. It's not going to be consistent, but there's enough mutate within the deck to kind of limp your way towards it, if that makes any sense, right? It's still pretty powerful. The only chance we have of getting hexproof for it is within our Mecha Godzilla. We like to get this out early and just try to let it hang out until it does get its hexproof. At this point, we can start mutating onto it without any worry of removal. It's okay though, because there's a lot of mutate within the deck, so not having 4 of a kind is fine. We're just kind of using a little bit of off-brand mutate that we wouldn't normally use. The Glowstone Recluse comes to mind. It's just an incredibly expensive mutate that in a regular mutate deck you wouldn't use, but because here we can't have 4 of a kind of things like Migratory Greathorn instead, which is banging, we do spread it out a little bit, and it becomes less valuable, but at the same time semi-consistent. So we are 100% mutating, right? That's our main get. We're using things like Shore Shark to keep our opponent's stuff off the field. Glowstone Recluse should keep us big and bad. Sea Dasher Octopus is a really good draw engine. Maybe we'll go through it that way, right? So let's talk draw engines first. The Sea Dasher Octopus, whenever it deals combat damage to a player, draw a card. That's great. We have Risen Reef. Whenever an elemental or it enters the battlefield, we're either ramping or drawing a card, right? So that's really nice. Cloud Conceer, whenever it enters the battlefield, draw a card. Guardian Project, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, draw a card. Parcel Beast, it's similar. We can pay 1, tap it. If it's a land, it comes in. If not, draw a card. Tamiyo, searching our library, similar to a draw engine. I'll give her that. Dreamtail Huron, whenever this creature mutates, draw a card. Cavalier of Gales, when it enters the battlefield, draw cards, right? The Great Henge, whenever a creature enters the battlefield, draw a card. So there are a few draw engines within the deck, and it's really important to keep your card advantage at least, or your card environment, whatever you want to call it, at least equal with your opponent. You don't really ever want to fall behind. If he's got access to 6 spells and you only have access to 1, he has a massive advantage over you, which is a bummer. So you really want to keep replenishing that hand with more draw effects. Drawing is not the only thing we need to do within the deck. We also like to ramp, right? Now, the best way to ramp within the deck is with things like, wherever is it? I'm blind. The Great Horn. The Great Horn. Do I not have the Great Horn in here? He definitely needs to be. He should be, and I'm pretty sure I'm just blind. Or we accidentally got rid of him. The Migratory Great Horn. It is in here. I'm just blind. Right here. Okay. Migratory Great Horn. Whenever this creature mutates, search your library for a basic land card, put it into the battlefield, tap, then shuffle your library. Ramping is important so we can hit our Sterix early. Migratory Greathorn is one of the best ways to do that. Mutate for 3. We also have our Cultivate for 3, allowing us to ramp, which is really, really nice. Risen Reef, when it enters the battlefield or another elemental enters the battlefield, look at the top card. If it's a land, it goes in, so that's a form of ramp for us. The same goes with our Parcel Beast. When we can pay 1 to tap, we should be doing that on our opponent's end step, trying to hopefully ramp there as well. Nyla is a little bit of a reverse ramp, where creature spells you cast cost 1 less to cast, which is pretty cool. The Cavalier of Thorns plays a land into the battlefield, so that's kind of like a ramp. Nissa is definitely a ramp, and then we talked about Uro, Titan of Nature's Wrath, being ramp as well. I would say the Great Henge is ramp, but once you've got that out, you probably don't need much more mana anyways. So you can see there's a lot of ramp within the deck, there is a lot of draw engines within the deck, and it has a lot of value through mutate. However, they are susceptible to removal. We do have a couple counters that we can protect them. Frilled Mystic is really nice, but for the most part, we just want to gain field priority, have all of our permanents replace themselves with things, like Guardian Project, for example, like the Great Henge. We use Agent of Treachery to steal our opponent's commander, ideally, right? And then we're bouncing all of his permanents, his creatures from the field with our Pouncing Shore Shark, which will leave our attacking lanes open, and we should be able to go in for the kill that way. There's a couple other things that make it neat, like obviously Questing Beast, Shifting Ceratops, Nightpack Ambusher, our Kraken. These just add a lot of core value to the deck, so it's kind of like filling it with bombs. How do you not win games when your deck is filled with such good cards, right? So if you get lucky, you can stack and mutate, stack up, Sterix, go wide, probably have already won the game there. If you're unlucky, he's going to be removing them, but we have so much replenishment through the Guardian Project, etc., that when our stuff does get removed, it's not going to, hinder us and stop us from recovering. All we need is our mana to untap, and we're coming back at you, right? So they're going to need multiple whites, which is hard to do in Brawl because they get one at a time. So they're going to need multiple kinds, or be pulling them from the graveyard, or some sort of shenanigans, right? So that is the Companion Brawl Uro / Keruga Simic Flash Brawl deck guide. Brawl decks are kind of hard to do the deck text for over the standard decks because there's 60 singleton cards. You can kind of brush over the interactions, but to go like, this is your turn 1, this is your turn 2, this is your turn 3, it's not applicable because the chances that you do pull that out are like 1 in a million, right? They're very, very slim. So that's the deck. I hope you got a little bit of a feel for it. We're gonna watch some gameplay footage now so you can get a more in-depth feel for it. This deck's very powerful, and I'm not sure why more people aren't mixing their companions and their Brawl commanders together to form just a value-based deck where you've always got access to 2 extra cards. It's just a great time. So before we do get there, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share this video out to a friend, and hit that bell icon so you're notified of all of our future uploads. I appreciate you guys spending your time and attention here with me during the summer when it is so beautiful outside. I know I'm gonna go try to get the grass cut this afternoon. So big shout out to our financial supporters who are making multiple videos per day a reality for you guys. So I'm crushing 2 to 3 videos a day. So a big shout out to them, not only from myself, but from the rest of the community who is absorbing this content and enjoying it, right? So, oh, woof. Thank you so much. Enjoy today's companion-based Brawl deck with Uro Keruga, Simic Flash / Mutate. Go get him. Enjoy. Alrighty, I like it. We've got the correct land. We're scrying off the start. Reef helps us really, really ramp nicely, which is nice. Looking for just land at this point. I mean, I know that makes things cheaper, but it's not as good as playing multiple lands. Ooh, see, right? Gotta get those out of the way. Playing Keruga, so we don't have access to Growth Spiral, but getting that late game draw is really nice. Our opponent played first, so we're at an inherent disadvantage. Right, we have 4 dropping to 5. We could just, you know, get right into this Cavalier of Thorns if we want. Throw up the wall, maybe? I don't know. What do you guys think? Straight for a blocker? Or we try to get more value from a Reef? Interesting. Well, the Ooze is, like, real good, too. Kind of in a weird position where we've got too many good cards. Let's get this Cavalier out. It's 5/6. Even if it gets removed, we get some value. When it enters the battlefield, we get value as well. So it's a good creature to play in an unsure time in the match. Right? Does he have single target removal? Probably. Bounce, tap, all this shenanigans, just direct damage. It is a good body, at least. Now that we have kind of like that blocker in play, I think maybe the Ooze is a good option to go for. Alright, our flying beats that. That's Risen Reef. We're just trying to ramp. That's not so good. From Series and Elemental, so we draw twice, actually just once because the other is a land. Then we get to play another land, which is nice. No attacks, keeping our defense high. We've got 6, 7, 8 lands, so we should be able to start playing multiple cards each turn here. Ooh, that's a nice copy. Discard 2 cards and draws 3. So that is triggering his Buccaneer. Interesting. Oh, that's discard 1 and draw 2. I see. We will definitely take that block. Right? I'm sure it could deal some damage to us, but... Oh, it clears our whole field. Dirty dog. Alright, what do we put on the top? Kraken's really good. He's got that flyer, though. That Great Henge is really nice too. That's such a hard call. I think the Pouncy Shore Shark's got such good value. Right, just to keep resetting his field. One land short. So you could cast something with 4 and mutate on. I don't think that's actually a great idea. Alright, let's play our Parcel Beast. A Shore Shark onto it. Maybe we should have kept the defense there, it's hard to say. We can get through these single target removals before playing our Ooze and Ambusher. It's going to be a lot better. Uh-oh, camera died. Camera died, boys. Always makes a great video. Alright, reinstalled the battery. Hey! I don't know what happened there. I think maybe it's because it's too close to my light and it puts off maybe a little bit of heat. We've been live for, what, 5 hours today? So, a little bit of time put in here. He's at a loss of what to do. So he plays his Niv, right? Pretty cool. But we can literally just start bouncing onto this, which is great. Underneath. And then we bounce Niv. We get that huge hit in. And now we can play our Nightpack Ambusher, or should we just play our Guardian Project? Let's be smart about it. Let's try to do that long con where we're getting that late game value. So until he removes the Shore Shark, he's in a tough spot. And then if we can get another turn, like if we pull a Mutate card next turn, oh my lord. Shore Shark's basically giving us 2 free turns. Crackling Drake, okay, draws a card. He's not attacking, so it's 3 mana. Let's play our Ooze. That definitely warrants removal. Or a counter, 100%. Yeah, okay. So that's fine, he's totally tapped. And while he's tapped, let's sneak our boy in underneath. Get that draw, Incubation, Incongruity. That's pretty cool. Jace, that's janked up. We have a reach, so we're gonna, you know, defend. Which is better, the Ooze or the Wolf? I think the Wolf reduced mana cost, flash. Not quite as strong, but still very strong. Primal Empathy will be really good as well. Get those draws going. Uh-oh. Oh. Uh-oh. Let's see where this ends up. Alright, we get a turn. That's cool. We take our damage, end our turn, make the wolf, and we can instant speed this to nuke his creature. This 1,000-Year Storm gives me the heebie-jeebies. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, copy it for each other instant and sorcery spell you cast before it this turn. You may choose new targets for the copy. Oh, he's going for it. So he's copied his expansion, which copied his Thrill of Possibility. So this is like a wombo combo here for sure. Very nice to pull this off in a Brawl deck. Holy moly. It's a good thing we got rid of that Buccaneer. So, if he plays Niv, do we nuke Niv, or do we nuke the Crackling Drake that attacks this turn? Here, I thought we had this one wrapped up in the bag. Wow, he might mill himself. Jace is already in the graveyard, keep in mind. Whoa, 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 Fiery Emancipation. Let's settle down. Takes a Flame Sweep back. He wants to double flame us? Oh, 1,000-Year Storm's gonna copy it 30 times by then. Alright, that's not good. Very nice how he's able to engineer his way through this. That's incredible. Very, very nice. Mana is available. His storm counter's at 3, goes to 4 here. Only our creatures as well. Alrighty, time to start this second part of the game up. Primal Empathy in the field somehow is going to compete with a full hand of 1,000-Yeared shenanigans. Let's take the draw. Activates our Empathy. Guardian Project as well. Ooh, ooh, ooh. If we can take his 1,000-Year Storm, this is unique. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Needless to say, I'm interested where the cookie crumbles here. I hope we get a couple more turns. I mean, it looks rough, but I think we can get there.
Learn some respect.
He's got all the mana he wants. He's got a full mid of cards. 27 in library. His copy of Jace is in the grave. He'll need to re-pull it, or he needs the Thassa's Oracle, right? Some sort of mill, I'm pretty sure, is his win con. We have Agent off the top. We're going to take his Storm, right? We don't have a ton of instances or sorceries. Very few. I don't think very many at all, actually. It could be none. But nonetheless, it's something that we can't allow him to have. Niv Mizzet we could also take, and that's going to really kind of put a wrench in his plans. He's going for it big time here with that finale off the start, just to get it started, right? So he's activated it. The next one will copy. Right? So he does 6 damage here. Brutal. He does mill himself there though. Back to our library, Scry 2. We do shuffle though. Oh, it gets shuffled, the library doesn't shuffle. Or the library did shuffle and it just ended up the same. We were just lucky enough to get Garrick on top again. Arcane Signet, that's fine. That's his mana pool for the turn. Oh, he's shocked. And it doubles it. Oh, but he doesn't kill our... Oh, it triples it. That's why, okay.
The clouds
I see.
and I must...
I kind of just want to pull... that Niv, but we should really just take Thousand Year. This Keruga is going to be such a good draw next turn. Maybe we should have done it this turn. I'm being greedy.
Like a farmer fertilizes crops. You're gonna
Go wide.
forest. Oh, I've got fun friends.
So he doesn't have Thousand Year Storm. All he has is a buttload of mana. Niv hits the field, not good. Still has 5 mana. That's terrifying. 6 because of Signet. 7 if he drops one. Right? That's horrific. Chemistry's Insight. So whenever you draw a card, 1 damage to any target. He's wasting it on Agent, thinks I can bounce it. I can't. I get the draw from Keruga, but nonetheless, leave our health points alone, please, Mr. Dragon. Or draws to a radical idea, now killing our Garrick, so he really wants that field control. Which is respectable. He's out of mana. You know, this doesn't have a value to it. What was the printed card here? Or it goes to exile and then he gets that instead, I see. He's got to discard a bunch. He's down to 15. We're at 19 life. Yeah. Play the Octopus as the creature. Right, it's additional draw from the Guardian. And then we'll play Keruga on top of that. We get a draw from the Guardian. Plus we draw for all the permanents 3 or greater, which is really quite nice. Play the land. We're going to be bouncing Niv Mizzet. Right? I think that's the play. We should bounce Niv next turn or this turn? Interesting. Or we play our Uro to ramp further? I don't think that's a great play. It's such a hard play. If we bounce, we can flash it in. Okay, so let's wait. End turn. We're gonna bounce his dude as soon as possible. Right? Get that out of here. That gives us a copy on Thousand Year Storm. Interesting. Ooh, reversal back to my hand. But I can recast it, and it has now triggered Thousand Year. But now he gets to bounce it. He bounces his Thousand Year back to his hand. Dirty dog! Interesting. The plot thickens. Right, Narcissus Reversal is not here anymore. It countered it, didn't it? Copy instant target sorcery spell and return to its owner's hand. You choose new targets for the copy. So maybe I accidentally just double bounced it, I think. But he just ionized it. Holy! So this looks like it's still getting off. Right, we're gonna bounce that Niv. He's drawing, he's down to 12, 11. Gets his storm back. Did we get a copy for that? No. And he's drawing again. Keruga's alive. We're still at 23. Plays a land. He needs to play that storm again, I think, right? Interesting. I'm worried about a self-mill effect. That's what my fear is. He's got 2 mana. He could, you know, radical idea to kill Keruga. This shifting Ceratops is going to go in for pretty heavy damage, which is nice. Got protection from blue. Cycling even further. He must have a Thassa's Oracle. What I would give to get into his hand with a discard here. Ooh. This is fun. This is fun, baby. I say talk, you say deck. Get a Huron, plus another draw. We do need to activate the haste here. He's got to block the Sterix, right? Or he loses. So Niv is off the field, which is great news for us. Really? Oh, 1 life left. Math, lol. We do that damage, we get the Gem Razor in, and let's go crazy about it, right? Onto the Sterix again, just flooding the field underneath here. We're gonna kill a Signet. And Nissa, stop it!
I will protect the
Triggers our Guardian project. We have to buff our Nissa. Let's just throw an island up.
Harness the elements.
And it's his go. Woo! What a back and forth Brawl match. Now this is why I love Brawl and Magic the Gathering Arena. You're not getting these kinds of matches anywhere else. That's just so back and forth, wildly variant on luck. Wow. That auspicious Sterix off the top really set us up in such an amazing position here. That Torbrand would be nasty with a 1000-year shock, right? That would be absolutely brutal. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 mana available. That's not good. He's got 8 cards in library, so we're still kind of worried about that self-mill effect. If not, we've got lethal easy next turn. Wow. We have straight up got to give our opponent a good game here. This is an amazing Brawl match. Whoa. Bounces the Huron. That does 3 damage because of Niv. Oh no! Torbrand puts an additional damage tick from Niv. He's got us beat, I'm pretty sure. Oh lord. Good game indeed, my friend. I thought we had it. This is what I mean about back and forth. That Torbrand is hot. There's no way with 3 mana. Like, he's got, yeah. Woof. So he gets to draw here, and it deals 6 damage because it self-draws. Oh! I'm not even set. upset. That was an amazing match. Opponent goes first. Not really a great hand, but we'll keep it. Now it is a great hand. Let's take the dig, looking for more mutate. Midnight Clock. That's pretty hot. We're flooding, which is quite nice. Into a Gargaroth, I'll accept it. This is a long distance call. So we can put it to the graveyard, and it goes there, and we now need to escape it. We only have 2 in the grave, including it, or we could put it back into our commander zone, which we will. And now we can recast it for an additional 2, which is 5, which we actually drop next turn because of its ramp. So it really has that diminishing return effect kind of mitigated, which is just so cool. And now it is our turn still, hey? We might want to just hold off, right, and let Jangotha do his thing. We need 4 for the mutate, and we have 5, so that doesn't work. We may just want to continue our triumph journey towards, you know, straight landfall, baby. Just more ramp, more ramp. We're actually going to decline this time and put it into the grave, so we can now... We've cast it for 3, we've cast it for 5, and now we're going to cast it for 4. So we're just really utilizing this single Uro to try to get more value than our opponent. Right into the Sterix. How did he know what we were going to do? It's a land. But he still gets all of that extra mana, which is really cool. But it goes to waste. And, so this is fun, right? We may as well just Bizounce that, right? Sorry. And then we should maybe keep this separate, and we'll use that as a mutate stack as well. Let's resolve this, and we'll just wait a second here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it went right to our turn. That's not what we wanted at all. Anywho, or we bounced that on our turn. All our phases are all messed up. Why am I on my turn? This is not making sense to me. 4 available. Let's just pass our turn. Right, let's play on his turn. I'm not sure. I should pay more attention. I was getting too excited with all these cards. So we've got the Wellspring in play again. Okay, it's got Summoning Sickness. Right? Our turn. Well, this is kind of messed up. We should just go right for the Sterix, shouldn't we? Yeah. Let's play this as a flash creature. It's our turn now. Resolve. Which is fine. And I know this is flash, so we should do it on his turn. But I guess that doesn't matter. Let's get the attack with it. May as well. Over top. Hitting for 4. Bouncing the Jangotha back. Playing our 3rd land. We might just spread our threat with a borrower. Right? Trying to play on his turn as often as possible. Here's Jangotha again. Player Borrower has flying. We're gonna bounce his Jangotha again. That opens up our attacking lane. We get to hit for a bunch. And now we're gonna spread our threat, question mark? Yeah. That Planeswalker in play, he is defended.
The mind is a tempest
just
that
plus
can
on
be
0.
controlled.
There's no
The
creatures,
sky
no
is
haste.
my domain.
Primal Empathy would have been a decent play as well. Really? That's upsetting to me. Especially since he's using Mutate and it's got a Mutate stack. What a guy!
Ride the winds to victory.
He's at 12, no flying protection, so let's just hit him in the air, right? Just a land, that's fine. Let's get rid of the agent as well. So he's not bouncing it back onto the field, at least I hope. Down to 6, sure. And now it's just like, deal with this. We should play it with Flash, but just get out there. We're all about that big presence, right? So yes, he does get to mutate onto the Short Shark. Oh! No, because he had to get rid of Hysterics from hand because Midnight Clock's trigger. Oh, that burns, baby. That's not good. Phase 2 life. Okay. Oh, Agent again. He takes our Flying Hysterics, which is tapped. So screw you, man. Man, that play actually worked out for him in the end, but I guess good game. Holy moly, what a match. 2 land, I think it could be better. Let's take that free mulligan. Ooh, this is really nice. We can ramp into it. It does cost 7, which is a lot. But nothing but land, baby. Our set's kind of cool. Okay, so we're definitely playing our Narset just to shut down his draw, even though we could ramp. Close. Well, he's not going to be drawing is the thing, because he's going to replay that. Let's get our Uro in there. We cast it for 3, or cast it for 5, and then we recast it for 4 later on. Pretty fun. Engineer, so he's still trying to ramp as much as possible. We pull the land, which is great. We're going to try to flash block with our ambusher. Now we can Shore Shark something, right? We also have a Borrower. It's only a creature that we can bounce. It will be Kenny. Right, bouncing as Kenrith and so on and so forth. Alright, this is a pretty aggressive hand. 3 lands. I want to bring out the fact that we're using both a companion and a commander. Talk about advantage. We're taking it. Creature card from among them. We've got plenty of good creature cards here, right? So let's toss that. We're just looking for land. Garruk. We've got a Borrower to bounce. Playing against Yarok, so we need to incorporate some form of removal as well. Let's get that Uro in play. Playing the land. So we could leave him in the graveyard, which we want to. We're going to put him right back in play. Now we can cast him again for 5, which is cool. So he's cultivating, so a little bit of ramp on his end as well. And now we're ready to start rolling. We could force his hand into immediate removal. I think we take it slow though. We hold up our Brazen Borrower. Hopefully we get hexproof, right? Deep Sanity. Just toss that back. Just forcing him into removing our Gargaroth. Our first 3 damage in. So now he has to not remove our Godzilla, he has to touch the Gargaroth. Plays his Yarok. Interesting. Let's play our Garruk. We already have Trample, but the +3/+3 could be cool. I guess let's toss it over here.
Dare you to stop this?
First strike as well, which is going to be really, really cool. We may just want to draw a card. He just takes it? No way. Down to 10. That's a big hit, baby. Let's mutate onto our mecha. It doesn't really matter. Let's go under, keep it in at 3/3. We do have a nice mutate target building though. He's got his Yarok, which does a lot. And now his creatures have flash, so that's not good. He's looking for a creature now. He can cast that anytime, as long as it's a creature. Okay, okay. Let's give our dude flying. Giving the Elder Gargaroth flying could have been cool as well. Draw a card here. Land. Let's toss the +3 on our Gargaroth.
Out of our way.
Champ will reach first strike flying. Gargaroth goes home. We kill Vivian. Let's draw another card. Goes down to 1 unless he blocks with his Yariok. Spark doubling it. Nice. Okay, that's cool. It's like super deadly. Okay, we're still trading. He's got Death Touch, so we die. Trample damage does go through, though, for 3. Just play the Lorescale as a chump blocker, I guess, to save our Yariok. Or not our Garrick. LOL. There's our chump. He can still cast that card that he exiled with Vivian earlier, her -2. Voracious Hydra can fight our Huron. Good play. Whoa, it does those things twice. That's so cool. Funny guy. So it's got to be non-human, right? You can't mutate onto a human. So we're minusing to make a non-human. Okay, we gotta get rid of this. You know what I mean? That's that's a thing. How are we gonna do that? We bounce it, he just gets to do that exact same thing to us again. Wow, this has flash. We should do that later. For 4.
Dueling you will be excellent research.
What are we even searching for?
I think you will find
Nissa,
my notes
Ooze,
helpful.
Sterix, Agent. 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nope. Now we need to cast this for 4. Ending our turn. It is with flash, so there's some benefit there. This match quickly turned around in our opponent's favor, though. Oh, the Great Henge is nice. That's really good. Whew. That is one of the bummers about stacking Mutate on a non-hexproof creature. Gets a counter, gets a draw, ×2. You know, Yariok is just my absolute favorite commander. I can't even express it. This doubles as well. Yeah, very good, very good. Yikes. So, wow, right? I kind of want to get beat up. we'll say no blocks. I guess
Our time together.
weren't allowed to cast our flash spell.
Consequences, pal.
Does he have something? 1, 2, 3, 4. Mutate for 4. Anybody catch that? Why was I not allowed to short shark? That's the worst thing that's ever happened to me.
They're a stampede of one.
He's gonna die anyways.
I like animals better than people.
I think that could have went better if we were allowed to bounce. Are you serious? Even when you get the answer, you can't win, eh? Good dang. It's a good brawl match. He whooped us, though. Passive bounces agent, and then, you know, the tail is old as time. Alright, if he's not willing to attack and win the game, I'll concede. Alright, he had a 12-13 with trample that he wasn't attacking with. Okay. Alrighty, so the Brawl content doesn't do so well, you guys, on YouTube. Please like this video and share it to a friend who enjoys Brawl so I can keep making this kind of content. Big shout out to the new financial supporters on Twitch, Patreon, and the YouTube membership program, actually making this sort of thing a reality for you guys. Because typically we as creators don't do it because the views tank and then our channel discovery goes down. It's not good. So it's really important that you like the video, comment on it, share it to a friend, just really engage with it so I can keep creating more Brawl content because I love Brawl. This is so much fun. I'm going to try to be making a new Brawl deck every day. Just for a little bit, testing it out, see what it is able to do. So again, if you like this, please engage with the video. I really appreciate it. And a big shout out to all of our financial supporters on YouTube, Twitch, Patreon, making all of this possible, you know, through their monthly memberships, so I can kind of not focus so much on the ad revenue from the videos and try to just create nice, engaging content for all of you, right? So I hope you enjoyed. Do take care. I'll see you guys tomorrow. We're live on YouTube every morning, 6 a.m. Mountain Standard. At 7 a.m. Mountain Standard, we go live on Twitch, and we're in the Discord all day. Links for everything is in the description below. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share to a friend, hit that bell icon, blah, blah, blah. All right, you guys, go get outside, enjoy your day, take care. Peace.